To make sure that you're ready for successful networking, you want to make sure that you have the tools of the trade. And there's two tools that I always use. And the first is really simple, really old-fashioned, and it's the business card. You don't need to have brilliant business cards. You don't need to have fancy business cards. You don't need a cool logo or anything like that. In fact, you can be completely unemployed and still have a business card. Make sure it has your name or your slogan or whatever it is, some little way for people to remember you by, and then your phone number or your email address or your website, something for people to get hold of you. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Adam, business cards, seriously, doesn't everybody just swap phone numbers? Well, yes, of course, you can swap phone numbers. That's not really it. The business card is part of this tradition of saying, here, look, let me give you my information and you give me yours. You might be able to swap those cards easier. It's more frictionless than saying, okay, get out your phone, da da da, yeah, I'll call you, you call me. Maybe the other person doesn't quite want to give out his phone number, so open his phone, get distracted with all of his messages and things like that. Maybe you just want to flip the cards really quickly. It's also a way of respect. It shows that you're serious about meeting other people. You're not just there to drink the free wine at the networking event. You're not there just to star spot. You've got something legitimate behind you. You've got a reason for why you're networking. So please do that. You can go to so many different websites and get business cards printed very, very quickly. You can get them very, very cheaply. And the real magic of them is once you have them, you have to get rid of them. If you get 1,000 business cards printed, you don't want 1,000 business cards stuck in a box. You've got to go out and you've got to meet 1,000 people. And a little bit later on, I'll show you some of the games and things that I like to do to help me meet new people. Now, I said there was two tools that I like to use. Number one is the business card, but number two is the really small paper notebook. I often carry a really small, tiny notebook in my pocket, pen and paper, that I keep all of the names and addresses on of interesting people. So if someone says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't have a business card," you can get them to write down the information right away. This is especially good if you're networking with people who are just starting up and their business cards haven't even been printed yet. If you're going to art organizations or art galleries where maybe it's not so common to have business cards, but you still want to get that information. The beauty of having your little notebook with you all the time is that you can start to write down additional notes about the person, because sometimes you'll just come home with a stack full of business cards and you can't quite remember, oh, who should I call about this? What did I promise that guy? What did I promise that girl? So by writing it down, you can say, oh, I should set up a meeting to talk about this next week, or I should ask them about this book that they wrote, or I should ask them about this thing that they're doing. Whatever it is that was interesting about that person, make sure that you've got it written down. Now, I'm a big fan of physical notebooks, way more than making notes in phones, because I think that notes in phones just get lost, they just get forgotten, it's digital and it's horrible. When you're dealing with something real world, like meeting people, you want to meet them face to face and you want to have a tactile experience and try to go device free. That's my personal style. You might have a different style that works for you, but I would 100% go out and get some business cards printed and get a notebook that you can put everybody's details in. Do it right now, do it today, and get rid of those business cards as fast as you can.